You're listening to Ernestly Speaking, the only weekly podcast that covers friends, foes, and anything that goes. And now, for your badass host, Ernest Owens. And we're back with a special edition episode of Ernestly Speaking with your host, Ernest Owens, myself. Well, I am recording this currently in Hollywood. Yes, I am in LA right now. Just came back from the after party of all after parties, the Grammys. Okay, I was at the 2026 Grammy Awards in Hollywood, and it was fabulous. It was great. It was a great time. As you can all see, I had a blast. I mean, you all saw the fits, you all saw the looks. It was a very exciting weekend. I mean, not even a weekend. It was like I came in on Wednesday, and after I record this, I'm going to be on my flight back to Philly. So if you are an early morning bird listening, you'll be surprised. But before we even get into it, let me give y'all some housekeeping. You all will get a new episode, a new full episode of Ernestly Speaking. You'll get it on Tuesday. Will it be at midnight on Tuesday? I don't know about that. But you will get it on a Tuesday. So you'll get it the next day. You'll get it on Tuesday. But I will be getting back later on Monday, like Monday mid-afternoonish, okay? So if you're texting me or calling or whatever, and you're like, oh, I didn't hear anything or whatever, I might have had some Instagram posts pre-scheduled. I might be able to respond to some emails via Wi-Fi on the plane. If you're listening, I'm on my flight, or I'm probably knocked out sleep, because I literally was like, I was not going to go to bed after the after parties because I knew I was going to take my flight. But I want to just say I'm so proud of myself because I actually pre-packed this time before I decided to head out earlier on Sunday. So in the past, what would happen is I was like, I'm not going to be at the after party that late. I'm just going to go there for a quick little nibble and a drink and then say bye. And then I end up talking and networking and doing all the things. And then I come running my ass, back to my hotel, which I always stay here at the Biltmore Millennium, which is a great hotel, iconic historic hotel. It's like the ultimate like Hollywood hotel next to the Beverly Hilton and the Waldorf Astoria and the Roosevelt. That's another one. That's a classic. I remember that was the hotel I stayed at when I got flew out to interview Oprah here. So yeah, I love my time in LA. Now, would I live in LA? I don't know about that. I, I don't know. I never say never, but what I will say is that LA is not for everybody. I am built for LA. I think I have the type of grit, hustle that would thrive in LA, but I feel like that's just who I am in general. So whether it was Chicago, which I was born in Chicago, but Houston, right, which is a little bit more, chill. And then of course Philly, which is a very hustle bustle type of city, of course, scrappy city, small town masquerading as a big city. I've been able to make a name for myself and do good things. But something about LA is just different. I mean, I've been in New York City. I've never lived there, and I have spent a summer in DC, so I know a little bit about DC. DC messy. But LA is a very just interesting city. I think this time around, I was able to really have the full, like, Hollywood experience that was like a combination of going out beyond the parameters of this Grammys experience. Like in the past, everything I went to was very like Grammys, official Grammy events, parties. This time around, I actually experienced LA in both the industry ways, but then also just checked out some spots. Like I went to some restaurants. It was LA Restaurant Week, which I didn't even know they had a restaurant week, and it just so happened to be this week. So which was very smart for them to do it around Grammys weekend because everyone was in town. So I went to Perch, LA, which is this really nice rooftop lounge restaurant vibe. Beautiful, beautiful rooftop. I mean, just beautiful views, and the food was really good. Their restaurant menu was $65, three course, which was not bad at all. And it was fun because I actually was able to do it. I was able to go to happy hour, and then my happy hour bled into the restaurant week. And I was actually going to dinner with a mentee of mine who was originally from Philly, but now lives in LA doing sports reporting at ESPN. So he's doing his big one. So it was great to catch up with him, but also just to check out that rooftop, which was fun. Went to West Hollywood. I went to the neighborhood over there. Not really I mean, I was like in the neighborhood. Like I didn't really go to, I went to some spots, but I didn't really go to any clubs. But I heard about them. I remember hearing about them in, when I went to LA early. I was there in September for the Glad Black Creators, Summit, which was really dope. So I've been going to LA a lot. I've been here a couple of times. And every time I come for some days. I don't, if you're going to be on the West Coast, I always tell people don't come for just one day and then bounce. Like, you want to have a feeling. Like, I feel like going to LA is like, if you're going to spend like a 3 hour time difference, you're going to have a 5.5 hour flight. You better be here for some days to make it worth it. So I love that when I come down here, I'm here for some days. Like, I'm here, I have a full-fledged trip. Like there was action packed. And this is a city that there's something going on all the time. At least when I go. When I go, it's always something going on. I just can't go to LA just to be like, I'm just gonna be here just for a couple of days. No, I don't have any agenda. Oh no, there was an agenda. So before I get into all the details, because as you can tell, I have some stories. Now, some of these stories I will not be sharing on this podcast. That is just going to be for the besties and my close friends and folks, but some things I will talk about in my own way. But it's a tradition. This is my fourth consecutive Grammy Awards week I've spent. So, if those of you who have listened to the show and have followed my Grammys experiences, they're always, you know, exciting and all that jazz. So, yeah, where do I begin? I will start off by Wednesday. In fashion, you all noticed I got some real great outfits. I really loved what I wore this time. Every week, every day. I was here for 5 days: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I was here for 5 days, and I had five different looks that I rocked for each day, and it was almost like a theme. And the theme was very simple. It was out of the box. Everything I wore, I wanted to have its own personality, its own swagger. I wanted to experiment with textures, looks. I didn't want to just be in a blazer for everything. I didn't want to just wear like super professional clothes. I wanted to play with different patterns, different textures, different colors. Like I really wanted to step outside the box, and each fit had its own meaning. It was its own versatility and its own utility for what I was doing that day. Everything had to make sense. I wanted to wear clothes that fit the day ahead. And everything I wore, there was a Telfar medium. Shout out to Telfar Clements. I'm going to always rock a good, Telfar bag. I feel like Telfar bags, in my opinion, are customizable. You can wear them with a variety of different looks, whether you're, going to a gala, or you're going to happy hour, or you're going out for a night in the town, or you're going for a quick little errand pickup. There is a Telfar bag for the occasion in a different size, texture, color, theme. There is a Telfar bag, and it's Black Queer owned. So of course I'm going to support it. So just wanted to lay out my fashion. My nails were great. Loved my nails. Shout out to Lux Nails, especially the one in University City. Shout out to my esthetician, Ask Alish. She did her big one. Just, I got a really great facial in January to really get my face renewed and get ready for Grammys. And so shout out to them. Shout out to Hand and Stone for the massages and the new face, which is basically cryo face, but they can't call it that for trademark reasons. But I really wanted to be dressed and impressed. I really wanted to look my best. And I felt this trip to LA might have been the most epic experience I had in LA, like for so many different reasons. And also my best looks, the most confident I felt on a runway, on a red carpet. Like it was everything. So yeah, I just want to just start by saying that. Shout out to a couple people. Shout out to my bestie, John Pierre, who has been my ride or die every Grammys week I've come, every Grammys. Like, this man is incredible. But I got to shout some people I met and hung out with that were also great. There was a lovely young woman named Megan she's a talented model, just across the board dope. And she also does produce music and things. Met her, she was great. Um, I also met this great queer influencer, but he like does roller skating and he's very talented, super talented. And he's like great as well. He does a lot of incredible work. And he's known for being on these roller skates. And his name is Laron Gigger. Like, so his name is Laron Gigger, and he or Jigger, and he skates, and he skated on the red carpet. And I think there were some videos of him, but he is so talented. But his name is Laron Gigger, and he is so dope. Such a young talent, black queer guy, young, can skate his ass off, and we partied and hung out at the Grammys weekend with John and all of us. David Cunningham, who is just so nice. He's a firecracker. He is a firecracker. He gets it popping. But he was so dope. I've known him for a couple years, just on social media and things, but he definitely showed love for me at this Grammys weekend. Like, definitely came and about. Like, we met each other at a party, and he just definitely showed me around LA in a very cool, unique way, and was just super dope throughout the time. So I gotta definitely shout him out. Um, who else? Oh my goodness. Tony. A lot of you all follow him on Instagram. He's an influencer. Like, these LA, let me just say this. These LA influencers and content creators, they're different. They're different. Like, they're different. And I don't think he lives in LA. But he comes down here very often. But he's dope. Like, he's got it going on. And we hung out on at some parties and mixers and things. Like, it was a good little group of us. We all was getting invited to certain parties, and then people were looking out for people. It was just lots of love. I felt, just in general, like, before I get into each day and what was unique about each day, I really, how do I say this? Like, I don't say I underestimate my impact, but I think what I love about going out, and I'm going to make it a point personally. This is something I told myself I was going to do. Um, I don't know if it's a New Year's resolution per se, but I've personally made it a point to really go out more often. Not necessarily in Philly, but like making a point that when given an opportunity to travel to things, to go out and do it. And I think, and I'm being real with y'all, like, after everything that went down with myself and NABJ, I have been for a while very reluctant to doing a lot of like conventions and things like that outside of like Philadelphia, because of just the bullshit that I dealt with at NABJ, and the conventions and the politics and the things of all that. And so for a while, I was just kind of like, I really don't want to go to that many of those types of events and things. I'm just tired of that hyper professionalism and all that shit. And I just didn't go to that much stuff. And I just was very like, ugh. But honestly, going to the Black Queer Creator Summit in LA last year, and going to Oxford Union, doing the Oxford Union debate, which that was different because that's just, I mean, that was like a once in a lifetime experience. But I'm more open. This weekend was just another reminder of like, I'm going to go out more, like go out. And I mean go out, like going, if there's a conference or there's an event and I'm invited to speak or be involved, I will fly out. If I can, if I have the availability to, I'm going to fly out. I'm going to go and do these different things, and more to come on that front. I got an opportunity that kind of came about this week, and it's just. But all I'm going to say is expect to see me in a city near you. I'm going to travel more. I'm going to take up more opportunities. There's been things in the past that folks say, "Oh, you should go to this," and I'm just like, I don't feel like it, or I'm just like, like what's the point? But I will say that this year, I feel like this is my time. Like I feel like a lot of things are just aligning in a way that feels like, you know what? I'm ready to go back outside. I'm ready to go back into these opportunities that are not just only coming to me, but going out and exploring and going out and meeting people because there are people that want to meet me and there's people that are truly following what I'm doing. And I know people are like, "Oh, you don't know this Ernest. You don't know he's him." I do. But I think it is for me. I'm so deeply engrossed in my creative process, my work, my writing and my things that I don't really take too much time to really hyper analyze every person that's listening who, the numbers. I mean, I'm aware of the numbers, right? But I never really take the time to like deeply, dive into, oh, what does the West Coast think? What does the South think? What does this think? Typically, because I'm always in Philly, I'm oftentimes will get a gauge of what I think people's perceptions is based on what's in my own backyard. But maybe I'm a little biased in saying that I do feel like, and I don't want to be this person. And let me put a disclaimer here because I want to make sure this does not come out the way that it's going to sound. I don't want to be the person that goes to different cities and then come back and shit on the city I live in and go, oh, well, Philly this, Philly that, and LA. And I'm not going to get Hollywood on y'all, but I am going to have a Hollywood time. But what I will simply say, I know I'm in Philly. I love Philly. I have a reason why I'm there. I feel like many years ago when I came to Philly, there was a sign to say, stay here. And I don't regret a day I spent in Philly. But I do feel like it is important when you're someone who is a public figure, you're somebody who's doing work, that you should go outside of your city, hear different followers, if you want to say fans, in this case, fans, and engage different pockets to see how they're receiving it. Because sometimes your home base is only going to give you a slanted purview. And when I tell you all how much this trip was so timely, and it's weird, like every time it's time for me to like get out of Philly for a little bit, it comes on time. Because sometimes it can just feel, as somebody who's in deep in the work, that either people are not hearing it the right way, or it's always this double down effect of like the same old this versus this and these same circular, obtuse, intellectually obtuse conversations. And you just sometimes are like, damn, can somebody just fucking be on my side and just be like, you right, and just not make everything a devil's advocate ordeal, right? This coming here and seeing people from all over the country and some people in different parts of the world come up to me out of nowhere and say, I know who you are. I listen to your podcast. I follow you on Threads. I follow you on Instagram. I see all your stuff. Keep doing your thing. And oh my goodness, I love your confidence. Like just that affirmation. Not that I'm not confident enough. Not that I don't already know my self-worth. But it just is nice to get flowers and just receive them from strangers, people who don't necessarily want anything. There were so many people throughout this trip that just show love, just did things, saw me somewhere, hooked me up, looked out for me, was a plug, just off of just the strength of my impact on them. And it was an expression, and it was manifest. It was shown to me. Like, it wasn't just words. It was like people really did some really dope, nice things. And I won't name the names. I won't name every person, everything, but they know who they are. But just from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you. Just thank you. Just thank you. Because there were just so many people just so yeah. And I know LA, people got their stories about LA. And LA is crazy. But there are just some nice people in the world. And I think coming on this trip, it was just refreshing to be met with a level of love and reciprocal support and encouragement from everyday people, folks who are not in my friend circle. Because I feel like, and I got to keep it 100, that in Philly, I thrive off of my network and my close friends. But I do feel like outside of my own personal friend bubble, my own professional circles I already have, people don't be out here. See, there I go. See, I said I wasn't going to do it, but I got to keep it 100. People don't just be out here looking out. They don't just consider me. They don't just say, hey, I know this would be a good thing for you. I thought of you, and when your name was in the room, I said, you got to be on this red carpet. You got to come to this. Are you free? Like, just thinking of you. Now, my friends and my core network, definitely those people. But like, just professionals outside of my core circle in Philly, they don't. They don't. They sit on committees, host committees. They sit on special award selection boards and shit. Don't 90%, most of them don't ever speak my name. Don't ever recommend me. Don't ever whatever. It would be my own friends or people in my close circle that would be the ones to fight. And it's like, in LA, these people were like, that's Ernest motherfucking Owens. I'm like, what? What? Like, they just was like, no, you gotta be like, there's no question. And so it just felt so fucking good to I felt the love in LA. I felt the love. I just want to say I felt it. And I'm verklempt. I'm really verklempt because, it's always an uphill battle, and I'm always prepared to battle. But it was just so nice for 5 days to be out of the war zone of that fucking Parker administration in Philly and just be with some people where you don't have to explain yourself. It doesn't have to be a debate. I like the debate. I'm never going to back down from argument. But people just know you and know what you're doing and know your heart and just do. I don't know if I will live in LA, but I will just say, every time I come to LA, it's always love. This might be like, I love LA. I love this city. I love the city for me. I think a lot of people, it can be intense. If you don't like LA, I can understand why you don't like it. Introverts, like, listen, Mr. Johnson, I don't know if Mr. Johnson and I could do LA together. Like, I don't think my husband, I just, he might enjoy it for a day, but I can't imagine. It's just the chaos of it all. I just couldn't imagine. But I enjoy LA. Like, if there's work, gigs, opportunities to be had, which I feel like there's some things, if people want to fly me out, I will fly down here every time if I can, because it's just, I love it. I love it. I love it. So I just want to put that disclaimer out. So let's get into the week. But I just wanted to name that. So Wednesday was a very interesting experience altogether. Wednesday, I came in Fortunately, no delays, no problems with my flight. There was no delays, nothing like that, which was a good thing. I didn't have to deal with the whole, oh, there's a delay, blah, blah, blah. So that was the first thing. There was no massive delays with the flight. Came in on time, got settled in, hit the ground running. Um, First thing I went to was a Luminate party. Luminate is the company that does all of like the tracking for ratings and numbers and things. They do all the aggregation and data. They're a big deal in the music industry. But not just the music industry, but like all of the major like digital platforms and things. So they count streams and aggregates and things. And they put me on some good game, actually. Luminate, shout out to Luminate. They invited me to a lot of parties, and I went to all their parties because they had great food, great open bars, great vibes, great people, beautiful scenery. Shout out to Luminate. Luminate had me on their lists. They took care of Mr. Owens and company. They took care of me and my crew. So definitely shout out to them. But the first part I went to was Luminate. They was telling me some tea about the game, like how they do numbers. I'm just gonna tell you a couple of things. I can't spill all the tea. But one thing I will tell you all, if you are a super fan and you are one of those people that want to see your fave get like streams, like get number ones and things like that, pro tip, they will only count 50 streams. And after 50, they will not count anything else towards it. So if you are doing those backhanded streams like for 5 hours on repeat, it will not count anymore. It will only be 50. The first 50 streams is what they count. After that, they don't count. And if you do playlists, they don't include playlists. Like if you put a song or singles on a playlist, the playlists do not count towards the streams for the artist record. This is for super fans. If you're a super fan, you listen, this is me telling y'all this, okay? This is for y'all to know. Other things that came up in the convo, the tea I was getting. Um, Variations is why Taylor Swift, like, because she created multiple variants, those all variants, people are streaming multiple variants on variants, and that is what's keeping her up on the charts, apparently. Also, I think I did hear this tea about YouTube no longer doing streams. That's still up in debate about how that's going to operate. I think it's not a foregone conclusion, but it's not permanent. But there's like chatter about the concept of like YouTube streams no longer being counted towards record streams and things. And maybe because it's not monetized. I think they really want to go towards a more monetized subscription-based lens with fans. So like basically free streams are no longer going to count towards a stream. It's more about the sales and the purchases and things of that nature. That's some of the things I heard. But anywho, I went to the first party they had, met Harvey Mason Jr., who is the president of the Recording Academy. He's a brother. I don't know if he's Alpha brother, but he's black. He's a black man. That's what I mean by he's a brother. But he met him. I met him before, so I guess I've seen him again because I met him last year and the year before that. But he's nice. He's so nice. Very tall. He's worked on a lot of good music and producing. Destiny's Child, Beyonce, so many artists. Like he's clearly that dude. Nice man. So he was on a panel and did his thing. After that, where did I go next? Because I was at party after party. I went to a mixer right after that. It was a mixer I went to that it was cool. It was like a general party mixer. Um, and I went there for artists. It was like a new artist showcase. Um, at the was it the Grammy House? I think I was at the Grammy House. Yeah, I went to the Grammy House. And that was fun. Like the Grammy House is basically like this all weekend long exhibition, like spot where there's a bunch of like the Grammys, the Recording Academy puts together this space and basically have multiple concerts and things like a little like a little I guess I would call it like a little destination like exhibit like for concerts where they do like displays and marketing like it's a little plot of land and they execute stuff. So they had like panels in the daytime and concerts at night and parties. So we went down there first and I met someone who was there who I linked up with and they were telling me that Nick Cannon was having a party. And I was like, do you want to go to Nick Cannon's party? And I was like, Nick Cannon as a party? So I go to Nick Cannon's party. He was actually there. He was DJing, which is, let me say why that's important. Because a lot of people I hear talking about they having parties, and we don't know if they're actually having parties. You know what I mean? Interesting. So I go to Nick Cannon's party, and then while I'm there, I get told that JD is having a party at Troubadour, this music venue space in West Hollywood called Troubadour. And I was like, who's JD? That's what I said. I said, who's JD? Jermaine Dupri. I'm like, Jermaine Dupri's having a party, and I'm invited. So we get in. Me and John go. We get invited. Jermaine Dupri is on stage. This might have been probably the most epic, impromptu concerts I've ever been to my entire life. First, Bow Wow's rapping. Okay, Bow Wow's Bow Wowing. He has not changed. Like, Bow Wow is who he is, child. For better, for worse. So Bow Wow performs, and then Trey Songz performs. Listen, Trey Songz, in spite of all of his allegations, which, to be clear for the record, he has not been formally criminally charged for most of them. Now, he has been arrested he just had a recent situation where I guess there was accusation he attacked or he hit and bruised a man at an event, and he was arrested and he got released. But Trey Songz, I don't know. He just always stays in the news. Like another R&B artist around his age, but I digress. So he performs. The crowd was going up for him. So then after that, B2K, every member, Raz, B, Omarion, J Bug, Lil Fizz, all four of them showed up together, united, getting along with each other, performing. I was impressed. I was gagged. I was shocked. I was like, wait, is this B2K? Is this a B2K reunion? Like, it was a B2K reunion. They still got it. They were fun, dancing, everybody's cool. I was like, wow. So I fanned out my inner millennium, my millennium. I was back in the 2000s. So then, if you thought things couldn't get crazier, Anne-Marie comes out and sings One Thing. And yes, the mic was on. She's crushing it. She's doing her thing. And I'm just like, OMG, could this party not get any wilder? So she's doing her thing. And then John B. Yes, don't listen to what people say. They don't know about you and me. And the much of mine, cause it's jealousy. They don't know. You know, listen. I grew up on that song. Okay? My family used to play that song to that song. Listen. And yes, he is white. But listen, probably one of the better to ever do it. They don't make white R&B singers like that anymore. Y'all swear that's Justin Timberlake, and that is not. Okay? Y'all got the wrong J. It's not JT, it's JB. John B. Okay? That's the real one right there. And that B better stand for boss. Them vocals were, listen, he still looks good. He was doing his thing. Listen, sung all his hits. Brian Michael Cox, incredible songwriter, was there. Mona Scott Young from Love and Hip Hop was there. Met a lot of Love and Hip Hop people throughout the weekend. Mazika Kalisha, who was Fetty Wap's baby mama, I believe. I think so. Used to date Fetty, at least. She was on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. She was there. Hype. Sweet lady. Pretty. After the show was over, it was late. I was hungry. I was in West Hollywood, y'all. First of all, there's two places. Now, this is not West Hollywood, but Bossa Nova. Let me just shout them out. This is a spot in LA that people go crazy about. They're not open 24 hours, but they are open to like 4 a.m. And they do pasta. They're known for their pasta. They're a little Italian restaurant, but they got some good ass pasta, reasonably priced, and they're open late at night. Well, we didn't go to Bossa Nova that night. I ended up having it later, but we went to this place called Greenwich Pizza. That was in West Hollywood because we didn't go to the clubs. First of all, I was dressed too nice. The outfits and the fits I was wearing, I didn't want to be anywhere in a club like packed with a bunch of regular degular folks that would be sweaty and palmy and nosy. I didn't want it. I didn't want it. I did not want that, especially at a gay club in West Hollywood. First of all, it was giving me like most of them clubs felt like Woodies. Like, I don't want to say like, felt like mostly white, mostly like blonde. It was a certain aesthetic. And I was just kind of like, okay. So yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, I was there at Greenwich Pizza, which been around since like the 1980s, like a staple over there. Pizza was good. It did its fix. I went straight to bed. Next day, Thursday. Thursday was, what was Thursday? Thursday was a lot going on. Thursday, what was the big thing about Thursday? Grammy House, went to Grammy House. Dope. It was a dope situation. Met up with Duran Bernard, who is now a Grammy winner. We'll get to the Grammys in a minute. But just the dopest guy ever, nicest man ever, super cool, super fun, all of the things. Like a very, very like awesome person. He was performing. It was a really great showcase of like artists, Ari Lennox, all the people. But before he did that, he did another it was like a black artist showcase that night. And shout out to the liquor sponsors, the Grammy House, but he was there, a part of that showcase. And then he was just at the Grammys all night. I was like, he better win. It's like there's certain people you just knew they were going to win or they should win because they were just bringing energy. But he was there. And then we went later that night to the Warner Brothers party. Oh, the Warner Group party. That was one of the hard to get into parties. But somebody looked out for your fave and got me into the Warner Group party. Like Warner, y'all, the Warner, okay? Crazy party. Oh, I was dressed to impress. It was a party. That was a party. Now that's what I'm talking about. Okay? People be out here talking about, baby, that's a show. Friday was a chill day. I had to recover Friday. Well, I had to recover. I started my day a little later because after that party, first of all, let me just talk about what was at the party and made the party pop. Big ass room, big ass space. I'm like thinking everything through. I'm scared. First of all, let me go back to Wednesday real quick. We went to Chinatown and went to a party before Jermaine Dupri's party. We went to a place called General Lee's in Chinatown in LA, popping cocktails, one of the best lychee martinis I ever had. Just want to say that. Shout out to General Lee's. That was another party we went to. Okay, now let me fast forward back to Friday. So Friday, I wanted to start things off at a glacial pace because I had to recover after the craziness of the Warner Group party. Because Warner, that party, they had Black Label sponsoring Bacardi cocktails. They had many Black Label whiskey sours. I mean, the food. First of all, everything was vegan, which was kind of interesting and cool at the same time. But some of the best vegan cuisine I ever had. Like everything was like top notch. I mean, the vegan desserts. It was crazy. And I felt good about myself eating it because I was like, oh, I'm not going to be eating dairy and meat tonight. But I couldn't tell the way that's some good vegan. Back to Friday. I go to Perch, LA with my mentee who is living here. He is a sports journalist. He's doing his thing, actually. We caught up. I try to make it a point that when I come to LA, I try to catch up with like friends in real life. and mentees and people that I just want to check in with them, give them advice, be there for them, all the things. So he was doing his big thing. He definitely did his big one. So I went to Perch, LA, rooftop. We had dinner. It was a great time. Then I headed over to Grammy House because they had another major showcase. And it was Duran Bernard performing. Ari Lennox performed. It was like popping over there. Like it was a lot of freebies, lots of fun stuff. So we went down there, got drinks, had a good time. Then later that night, we was just all throughout the city. Lots of parties was happening all throughout the night. Like this Empire Records had a party, which was a lot going on there. Tyler, hmm, Tyler had a party in the hood, y'all. Over near Crenshaw, okay, not too far from Crenshaw. And listen, she had her little party, and it was a small packed, like some small little random ass ballroom somewhere. And there was a lot of people having parties that they had no business having. There was some definitely some scams. People having parties out in the hood. One place, mind you, I just have to name this. We was at this, there was some venue at the last minute and they were using apps, like for event apps. Let me tell y'all something. LA, y'all love a damn Partiful app. Y'all put me on a Partiful, which is a fun app. It was cool for an event. It was kind of cool, but also very hyper social in ways I was like, this is overstimulating. And then there's an app called Dose, or I think it's called Dose. Y'all love that Doze or whatever it's called, Dose or whatever. Y'all love these event apps. I had to get 2 different apps or whatever in order to keep up with the LA girls when they parties and their RSVPs. But it was a lot going on. So yeah, so we were at all these different like parties back to back on Friday night. We ended up going to a late night somewhere in like, was it Oakland? It was Oakland. It was somewhere in LA, but it was out in downtown LA, somewhere low key. We went to after hours. That was wild. And we was up till like 6 at night, had bottle service. It was chaos, but fun. And also, let me just say this too about the fun of it all. LA, y'all love a black car. Everybody loves a black car. I was on Uber Black was my favorite car the entire time. Everybody was just doing a big one in these black cars. And people who didn't even need a black car. Now, I got a black car because I was riding with multiple people at a time. So sometimes we wanted to be fancy and be Hollywood with it. But like some people just love to overdo it where it's like, who the hell? And when you see a black car Suburban or a Cadillac Escalade, you thinking, okay, who's in this car, right? Child. But anyway, Tyler had a party, right? Because it's her birthday. She just turned like 24 or something like that. But she's young, but she's gorgeous. So she had a party, and it was dope. And I was like, we were trying to get in, y'all. It was so packed, security. We couldn't even make it to the party and get inside. So we ended up turning the corner and everything. And it was just such a miss. But she just, I don't know. Listen, I'll say this. Tyler is a very beautiful, talented young woman, young lady. And I just feel like I don't know what it is with her team, but they be out here they just be out here giving this girl, listen. Like for example, I might be cutting it a little bit, but she won a Grammy. Did y'all know Tyler won another Grammy this year? Like she's still getting Grammys, like Grammys. And she was there at the red carpet. Now this is the Grammys, the pre-show. She was there, but like I don't know. Her team didn't get her in time for her to actually go up on stage and accept the award. And that's another story for the day. But it's just like to win Grammys and not be there to accept your award. Child, anywho. So, for real. So, Friday night after one party we went to, we just started just going to different, like after those concerts, like Ari Lennox performing and Duran, we just was going to a bunch of different parties and we did it after hours. It was crazy. So then Saturday, I was like, you know what? I need to take some time. I need to take a half day to rest and recuperate. So Saturday, I slept in a little bit, did tea time. I do my annual tea time with Terrell, my good friend Terrell Green, who is making his own news. He got his own headlines, y'all. He got his own headlines because also, let me back up a little bit. Friday was heavy because of Don Lemon. Don Lemon got detained, by the federal. They took this journalist, him and a woman named Georgia Ford, and this campaign person. Just chaos, y'all. Just ridiculousness. They take him, okay, in custody. And he gets released, of course. But that was like heavy all throughout LA, y'all. Like, I know everybody across the country was talking about, but everybody in LA was shook. Like, they were like, oh my God, Don Lemon got, they done took Don Lemon. And Don Lemon was scheduled to be at the Grammys, which in the red carpet, which he eventually does. We'll get to that later. But it was a big deal. Everybody was just shook that this happened to him. A lot of people, like Don Lemon, like, talk about a 180. Like, this man has literally transformed his whole career, his image, his brand. Like, these are people that like once was problematic, but then turn their life around in a way where and that's what I tell people. Like, sometimes people will get it right, and he is somebody who really got it right. Like, he really got just a great guy. But anywho, so yeah, Friday was heavy because of that going on. But Saturday, after the Friday night chaos and just the parties, I took a half day. Like, I was like, you know what? I don't want to go to any. Let me back up real quick because my timeline. I went to the Luminate party. That Luminate party was on Thursday. Yeah, I think that it was another Luminate party. Yes, it was Luminate, the rooftop party. Yeah, I went to Illuminate Party on Thursday. Or was that? That was Thursday. Yeah. My days are confusing because there was so much going on. But like, yeah, I went to the Illuminate Party on that Thursday, and it was a cube rooftop, and then Warner Party, and that's how. And yes, I went there. I started my day off at the Illuminate Party. It was another Illuminate Party on this rooftop that was really, really nice. And then that's how I'm going to Warner because I found about it that same time. And I'm going to the Warner Group party. And then the rest was history that night. But yeah, that's what happened. Okay. Just keeping everything up. Yeah, Thursday was crazy. So yeah, Friday night, was back-to-back parties. Saturday, I take the half day. I get tea at so there is a beautiful afternoon tea, English high tea that they have at my hotel that I'm in, the Biltmore. Terrell Green, I caught up because he's got a new play out called Harriet Tubman, Love Slave, and it's been all over the news, and he was on CNN. It's a lot of controversy, and so I had a big, we had a chat about it and had a talk. I won't talk about all the things that was said, but we had a really good conversation. Lots of tea was spilled. And, we talked about that show and, how he's navigating this newfound attention, because he, for many years, I think a lot of people just talked to him as, oh, he's Malcolm Kenyatta's ex-husband. Well, Malcolm Kenyatta's ex-husband or Terrell Green's ex-husband, he's not in the shadows. This experience has definitely made him have a name for himself. So we had a really good time just catching up and celebrating and talking, and he's got a lot of great things coming up. So after that, I went to a party, like a little pre-party before Clive Davis's party. Because this is Saturday. So this is the day before the Grammys. So I go to this pre-party. It was it was a cute party. So I'm backing up a little bit. Friday, I went to a party in Hollywood for the Grammys. It was a Philadelphia chapter of the Recording Academy. There is a Philadelphia chapter. I'm not a member of the chapter per se, but I know the executive director there. I know the people there, but I go to events on regular, but I don't know if I'm a member of their chapter, of the Recording Academy chapter. But I go to a lot of events, and it's a great vibe. But there was Philly love in the house. There was some people from Philly that were there who did, were nominated or in some type of capacity that wanted to be there. But because let me tell you, Grammys weekend is not for the meat. You got to have some money. You got to have some style. If you're going to come down, you got to have some business. Otherwise, it can be a bust, to be honest. So back to Saturday. Go to this party before I go to Clive Davis' party, which is the Beverly Hills Hilton. Nice party, nice mix to get some photos taken. Now let's get to Clive Davis. Throughout the week, there were tributes like for Brandy, Mariah Carey. I'm not going to get into all these tributes because that could be a dissertation within itself, right? Don't ask me what I think about Jennifer Hudson's tribute. Don't ask about the Mariah Carey tribute. Don't ask me about these tributes. Except one tribute I'm going to talk about later on the show. And you know which one I'm talking about. The best one ever. But these tributes, I think we need to reevaluate, for the most part, if we need to do musical tributes at this point. This generation, and I'm talking about Gen Zers and younger folks, are just the artists in general out now. A lot of them do not have the range nor the caliber to sing some of the songs they're singing. And I think it's the industry, specifically like the Recording Academy, wanting to spread love. And, like, why do they have, Kesha singing Obsessed by Mariah Carey in her tribute? Like, I don't understand some of these decisions. And Jennifer Hudson cannot stop doing a tribute for the life of her. I feel like it's like her second calling. But she's always doing somebody's reinvented, tribute or whatever. She's just always going to be the tribute girl to me. But anywho, so much was going on. So much was being said. So much was going on. And I guess I'm clocking it, as the kids would say. But so much was being said. And I think what's more important to me is for people to understand that, look, to even have a tribute is a career worth it, right? But I will say Brandy's tribute, I like Coco Jones singing Full Moon. I did like that. But I'm not going to get into all the other performances and how I felt about them. I'm going to be nice for now. But Clive Davis party. This year, for the first time, I got in and walked the red carpet. Like Getty Images. Like, y'all saw them pictures. I wore a Pink Panther outfit. When I tell you, people up in there was showing love. Everybody and their mother was there. I have so many pictures of so many famous people, y'all. I can't even. Some of them I won't even post because I know it's a little controversial. And then I didn't even think when I saw them, like, oh shit, right? Like, pictures you're not going to see show up on my Instagram, but I took pictures. Smokey Robinson, met him in person. Took a selfie with him because I was in awe that was him. Forgot where I remember last time his name. And I was like, oh, shit. L.A. Reid. Saw L.A. Reid. Took a picture of L.A. Reid. Did not realize, after I took the picture and told my friend, like, oh my God, I got a picture with L.A. Reid. They were like, he had that, like, he was accused and he did this, like, crazy multi-million-dollar settlement, like, ASAP. I was like, oh, shit. Jelly Roll, which y'all are calling a Trumper. I don't know nothing about Jelly Roll being a Trumper. I didn't even know that was a thing with him. But y'all been calling him a Trumper. And I'm just like, what? But he had a meeting with Donald Trump and talked about why he was excited to meet him. And I think that's why people thought he was a Trumper. Because people said he met with Donald Trump in 2024 that, that wasn't a good look. And he had a lot of backlash for this. So I don't know if he's a Trumper or I don't know. But that's what people were saying. But I didn't know. But I took a picture with him. I mean, he took a picture with me. You know what I'm saying? And, it's just interesting. But I walked the red carpet. It felt so good. I saw so many people. Some people I didn't take pictures with. Some people I just, in passing. I saw Olivia Dean. She looked at me. I looked at her. We smiled at each other. But they had, like, Precious Cargo. They didn't let Olivia Dean go out, like, really anywhere. Like, there was a Spotify party that I was at for 5 seconds and dipped. Also find out that Spotify be on their bullshit. But apparently they're clarifying that they're not collaborating with ICE or whatever. That's what they say. But, okay. Because they had a Best New Artist event. But, like, Olivia Dean, out of all of the new Grammy nominees for Best New Artist, they kept her like Precious Cargo. Like, she couldn't really go anywhere without a massive team. And now it makes sense. But, yeah. I saw her, but we didn't get a photo. She didn't even, I mean, she's gorgeous. First of all, she's beautiful, so talented. You know, some of my friends feel like she need a little bit more soul. I think she's doing something really different. Mr. Johnson, oh, he loves her. We play Man I Need every like morning when he's driving. And like also, he just listens to all of her music. Like she's had just a body of work. And even though she might be new to people, she's been around and she's working her ass off. So, yeah, Olivia Dean was so sweet. John Legend and Chrissy, saw both of them. Um, People I met in person. Who did I meet in person? Heidi Klum, fabulous. Chet Hanks, yes, Tom Hanks' son, who got like the patois, Jamaican accent he be doing. Don't get me started. He was there. But it was a lot of different people, like a lot of different folks from all over were present at the Grammys. Neo, saw Neo. No, he didn't bring all the girls with him. Just him. Byron Allen, hero, my media hero, right? Gotta see him again. Gayle King, of course. Always love seeing Gayle. Paul Abdul. I got to meet Paul Abdul, get a picture with her. Saw Mario, got a picture with Mario, nice guy. Kenny G, legendary Kenny G, okay. Tyler, got to see Tyler after her birthday party, couldn't get into the birthday party, got to see her again. Tyler was so cute, so sweet, so nice. Lizzo, Chloe and Holly. Lizzo looks good, and she was her fiance. They look good together. Scrumptious, gorgeous couple. She's so lovely. We went to the same high school, so it was just great to like, see her and like have a Lizzo moment. She's so fun, so sweet, and just I feel like she's new. I feel like there's something about her, like she has this brand newness to her. Like she doesn't something about her just feels so much more relieved in some way. I don't know how to describe it. Saw the controversial himself, Pharrell Williams, walk past. We'll get to that in a minute. Who else? Who else did I see that stood out? Oh, everyone was there. Oh, Diane Warren, who I just talked about in the last podcast episode. 17 Oscar nominations for Best Original Song, never won one. And she's probably not going to. I think Golden is going to probably win, which, like K-pop Demon Hunters, I think that's going to winning Best Original Song for a film. I think that's going to happen. Another year, though. But she stay getting nominated, though. They will always nominate her forever. Joni Mitchell. Joni Mitchell, the legendary Joni Mitchell, got the chance to meet and greet with her, take a photo with her, just be in her presence, like a legend. I mean, Joni Mitchell was that girl. I mean, she's still out here getting Grammys. Like, she's just doing her big one. I think she got her 11th Grammy. Her album, Blue, one of the most important albums of the music era. Like, what it meant for women in music, like an icon. Still alive, still pushing through. Who else did I see? So many people. Okay, so the big photo, right? Don Lemon. Oh, I saw Billy Porter too. Yes, saw Billy Porter. Saw him. But got a chance to see Don Lemon. He was in line getting into the Clive Davis party. We chatted. I personally thanked him as the president of the Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists, as a black journalist, as a black queer journalist, as a free speaker. I thanked him for his courage in person and was able to just bond. He was with his husband, but it was just great to see him. And he was so high in spirit and and I saw him right before he got a big, huge standing ovation in the room. But for him to just be one moment detained and next moment be at a Clive Davis pre-Grammy gala, it's just America. It's just the American dream, right? But yes, I saw so many people. I put as many pictures up as I could before not. Oh, how can I forget? For my fourth consecutive year, Paris Hilton and I laid eyes on each other. And this time, not only did we take pictures and greet, but we also, she did a video and I didn't know what she was going to do. She just was like, oh, you want to do a video? So I was like, oh, we're going to do a video. Like, oh, hey, I'm with Paris or whatever. And she goes, "That's hot about my outfit." She really liked my outfit. This outfit I wore was the pink one with the cheetah prints. I called myself the Pink Panther, is how I describe myself. But she was just, she's just a class act. I love me some Paris Hilton. Y'all can't tell me nothing about that woman. She's just the sweetest person. So nice, so thoughtful in more ways than one. Saw her. I got to see Leon Thomas, who I love. Okay. Mutt was my jam. Still my jam, but such a great artist. Very nice, of course. Who else? Other people I saw. Duran Bernard, saw him again. Tiana Taylor, saw Tiana Taylor. Definitely saw Tiana Taylor. Yes, Tiana Taylor, saw her. Went up to her personally and told her congratulations in advance. I told her, listen, don't let those people knock you down about that role. You doing your big one. This is your moment. Congratulations, you're beautiful. I just spoke truth into her. I just was like, people can just be so harsh, you know? And I just feel like sometimes a person is just she's not bothering anybody. Like she's just a sweetheart. So I just wanted to tell her that. I was able to just tell her. You know, it was just like, what's funny was that I had so much fun having conversations with these celebrities. And one of the things that was really cool about it is that I was able to just have conversations. Like everyone in that room was somebody. I'm somebody, hell, you know? And it wasn't like just like nervousness. Like I would just go up and just talk to people and just be like, you know, yo, I love your music or happy birthday or, you know, listen, that new role you're in, I listen to this song, just how I feel like and they love it. Like it was just such a good time. It was so many fascinating people. And yeah, Clive Davis party is always epic. Now to the Grammys. The Grammys themselves. So first of all, on Sunday, Grammy Sunday, there's only three things. The pre-show, the awards itself, the televised awards, and after party. That's it. I'm not the kind of person that want to do 1,000 things before. Most of that morning I spent, you know, getting myself ready, getting dressed up, getting, you know, looking good and all that. Okay. Getting well rested. I don't want any circles under the eyes. None. I really do have any, but I wanted to be, I hydrated before. I had got my hydration on. I was not playing. Okay. I was like, I am not about to play. I need to make sure I am fully energized for what will be a long ass day, which it was a long ass day. But it was a beautiful day and I was blessed. Okay. I have no complaints. Okay. None. I was fortunate to be there. I was happy to be there. I was gracious. Okay. So let that be known. So the Grammys, got there, took my pictures, went to the pre-show. I have so many thoughts about so many things. First of all, I will say I enjoyed the pre-show this year because of who was winning. So a lot of y'all didn't see the wins, but like, I mean, first off, Kendrick won like 5 Grammys. I think he won 5 Grammys. You know, he just stayed collecting them Grammys, child. Like that man, this is like the second year. I think in the past year, from last year's Grammy to this year's Grammy, he done picked up like 10 Grammys. Like, he done already gotten up, you know, like that man just be racking up. I mean, he won 10 Grammys in the past year. I mean, he is on a rocket right now. Kendrick Lamar is. But what I saw in person, which was great, was a lot of things was happening. But for starters, this year's Grammys only did 9 awards. They only did 9 awards this year. They did the 9 awards they did, and I feel like they were targeted to like have different celebrities go up and, you know, have their moments, right? So one thing I noticed was they had Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best New Artist, Album of the Year. Then they had Country Album, which is when Jelly Roll got up. Then they had Rap Album. Then they had Pop Album and Pop Vocal Performance. And then they had another category. Was it country category? Oh no, the not Urban Banana, the Urban Latino Musica, whatever. They was like Spanish speaking, but it was like urban category, some random category. But Bad Bunny had won his Grammy for that, his first Grammy of the night, of course. So it was interesting, and what people was upset about was that there was no R&B. There was no R&B category. There was no R&B category. So that was announced, which was very annoying. So the pre-show was big because I got to see, and some of y'all saw me on camera during the pre-show. People got screenshots of me, okay, in my phone, like me at the show. Like people saw me in the seats. I was like on the first 3 rows of the damn show, y'all. I was in there, and y'all were seeing it. It was dope. So I love that show because honestly, as a Black person, personally, to see artists that I care about, like the artists that I listen to, the hip hop, most of the rap categories, all them categories, you get to see people get their love. Like Tyler the Creator won an award for album cover, and then Doechii won something, and it was a couple different people. And like these are the categories they get it. Like Samara Joy, oh my God, this girl has won Best Jazz Album for the 3rd consecutive year in a row, in addition to winning Best New Artist a couple years ago. Like, stop playing with her. Like, these people should have moments on stage. I don't know. That's my one critique. It's just like they could have some more love for these categories. But baby, when Kalani won not 1 but 2 Grammys, okay, Best R&B Performance, Best R&B Song for Folded, which I told y'all that was the race to look at. That was the race to look at. She did what I think Olivia Dean had going, which is that she had a song that had some momentum to get the nomination, but by the time she actually got to that point, the song had blown up so much that it was in voters' memory. I thought Mutt had a strong chance, but Mutt did win 2 Grammys. He didn't win for Mutt, the song itself, which was interesting because he was in a competitive category. But he won Best R&B Album, and he won one of his other songs won Best R&B Performance, Traditional R&B Performance, something like that. But he did his big one. He had won some Grammys, that Leon Thomas, and I'm so happy he did because he had. I mean, it was like R&B didn't get really, really any major love. I mean, he did get to perform on Grammy night on stage and perform Mutt, which is a banger. But yeah, it was great to see him in his own element. Um, but Kalani winning her Grammys and her speech, fire. And by the way, that pin, that iconic button y'all saw me, um that ice one or whatever, baby, that pin, so many people complimenting you on having that pin. It's the red carpet pin. That's the pin everybody wearing the red carpet now. The ice out pin, I got one. That's like a collector's item. Like, I'm gonna rock that shit to somebody's award show in Philly. I'm gonna find somewhere to go where I can wear it. But that's where all the celebrities wear. Like every award show now, you're gonna see a lot of them do that, or they're gonna wear a "Be Good" button. But most of the award shows, that's the new thing. Until ice is out, it's gonna be ice out. So I love that I got one. Someone gifted me one, knew I wanted one, knew I would wear it, and I did wear it at the award show. So that was dope. But yeah, it was a night. It was definitely that. The pre-show was everything. Durand Bernard, who we've known each other for years. I've been following his career for the past couple of years, and every Grammys, I mean, the past 2 Grammys he's seen each other. He was nominated last year, and this year he won Best Progressive R&B Album for Bloom, which I'm so happy for. I feel like I knew that. I felt like in my gut, I was like, that's going to be the one. That's going to be the category he's going to win. But he won. He was so excited. He was so deserving. And, just it was great to see a Black queer musician on that stage, right? Like Lil Nas X did when he won, a mainstream award. But like, just to see him, I mean, he's a worldly talent. And to see him get his flowers in his way was just everything. So we were super happy for him. I mean, the way the crowd went up for him when he won. But these are moments that we don't see on the main telecast. And that's what I just feel like that was a little irking to me, because I feel like the Recording Academy, they're just, I don't know, they just wanted to have more shut performances, which is cool. But I mean, we didn't have to have that Bruno Mars, ta pip, whatever that performance was, the Girl Rose. We didn't need that at the opener. Bruno performed 2 times at the Grammys, which lets me know that next year he's going to be insufferable. Oh, okay. Now, did I say that? But yeah, it was so much going on there. Now, for the Grammys itself, look, y'all saw the same Grammys I saw. I'm going to run down it. I'm going to get into the good, the bad, the ugly. Or I'm going to start with the ugly. No, good. Okay. let's go into the good, the great, the good. That tribute for D'Angelo, all-time best. All-time best. All-time best. Definitely was an incredible performance. I mean, Lauryn Hill was there. Miss Lauryn Hill, okay, was there on time. We love to see it. And just great. She was just being her great self. I mean, talented, thoughtful. I mean, she's just worldly, you know. Sweet woman, down to earth. The performances, Bilal from Philly performing. I mean, October London. Everybody was doing their one. A very thorough tribute, like thoughtfulness. Wyclef John, Fugees. Everybody was just getting love. Like Roberta Flack. I mean, everything about that whole tribute. Loved it. Chef's kiss. Great, great, great situation. Um, Gaga's performance of Abracadabra. Oh my God. I got my whole life in there, y'all. I mean, rocked out. Gaga hasn't given us a performance like that in years. Years. It's like we've been waiting for that award show moment. She just ate. And then she won her Grammy, which, y'all know I want her to win Album of the Year. But I will tell you, I have to say that her speech was a little bit of a letdown for me. That wasn't part of the bad. I'm going to say in the good. Other good things. Trevor Noah as a host, great host. This is his final time hosting the Grammys. This is their final time going to be on CBS. A lot of things are changing with the show, but he was on point. He was on point. I mean, he had receipts. He was going in. And I love that. He was unapologetic. I mean, Trump was getting mollywopped, okay? So that was that. There was a lot of missing performers. I felt like people that I was like we understood that Bad Bunny could not perform, even though he clearly didn't need to, because he got the Super Bowl to get ready for. But like, I don't know, it just felt like we were missing some female pop energy. I mean, Sabrina Carpenter performed and Gaga, I guess, performed, but I just felt like there was something missing in the performances. I don't know what it was. Olivia Dean ate. And so Best New Artist, another good. I was happy she won. Y'all know I thought Leon Thomas was going to be the winner initially, but then Olivia Dean, I mean, she is just, the moment she got up, everybody got up. I said, oh, she's winning. Because the people in that room, 15,000 people vote for the general categories. And not just that, but just, a star is born. She's that new girl. She's the new it girl. She's the new girl that everybody's going to be talking about and loving on, and as they should. She's that girl right now. And she's the moment. She's relishing it. I mean, she's glowing. She's just gorgeous. I just really like her a lot. And, yes. Talk to me. Yeah. So I was happy about her win. That was very heartfelt. Song of the Year going to Billie Eilish. So we're getting to that good, the bad, the ugly moment. I like Billie Eilish's speech. Her speech was, I mean, she's about that life. You cannot not like Billie Eilish. But I will say that I was a little surprised that she won. I mean, I'm not surprised, but I am surprised because I just really felt like, Billie Eilish has won Song of the Year. Like, okay, she won for Bad Guy. She won for Not What I'm Made For. She's won Record of the Year in between. And then she just won again for Wildflower. I mean, I was just like, she's going to stay winning that Song of the Year. I think it's like her third Song of the Year Grammy. But she wins. And she's won Record of the Year twice. Because it was not What I Was Made For. Everything I Wanted. I think that was what it was called. And she won a Record of the Year for that during the pandemic. And I was surprised that won. But they just love Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish is just that she's that girl for them, like the way they love Bruno Mars. Even though I will say a good was he didn't win anything this time around. But this wasn't him though. This was the girl Rose who he was featured on. And one could argue that because he was on the song, that's why I got those nominations. Because if he was on the song, on the record, I don't even think it would have got all that hype, to be honest. I just think Bruno just do that. So the bad or the whatever, right? Outside of this. If more good comes, I'll think of it. But Bruno Mars, first of all, okay, before I get into Bruno Mars, one good thing I will say is it was nice to have a Taylor Swift free Grammys. And a lot of people have been saying that. I just feel like Taylor Swift is just at the point where she's just oversaturated. I feel like I'm happy that she's picking up that we all want to break from her because it's a lot. It's a lot. I think she's just like, you've had your fun. We've had enough. We want to break. And I think it's necessary. But yeah, um, so the bad. Pharrell Williams' speech was probably the most cringiest speech I've heard in a long ass time. Cringy, cringy, like, oh, very cringy. Talking about work, oh, you should work. Just like, what the fuck? Tuh, tuh. Um, the star-studdedness of it all felt a little different this time around. Like I didn't see. I just felt like we're just missing some big players. I'm not going to ask for Beyonce and Jay-Z are, but just I don't know. We could have used Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. They won a Grammy for Best Pop Duo Performance for Defying Gravity, which was insane. But like, I just felt like we could have had a little bit more star power. Like, where was Meryl Streep? I don't know, just like there was like an A-lister quality to it, the Grammys. That was like a little bit more low key. Um, hmm. Pharrell's speech again was cringy, even though I love the Clips performance. Todd the Creator's performance, I don't get it. But just because I don't get it doesn't mean I'm going to trash it. I just don't like. There's a demographic that loves him, but I'm just not in that demographic of Tyler the Creator. I get it, I guess. So record of the year went to Luther and Cher's ass, which I heard live, say Luther Vandross as if he was still alive. I was in my gut feeling like Luther was going to get record of the year. Like I felt like that just made sense. Even though Kendrick had already won, I just felt like this was just a weak year. This past year was a weak year in music. Like I personally feel like it was like a weak year in music. Like no one had things that were, in my opinion, like bona fide guarantees. Like even for Song of the Year, like when I think about Wildflower winning, I'm like, because there was the other songs, none of them were like massive hits where you could just automatically give them the award. And so I felt like it was always going to go to whoever was the most known name or the person people like. And that's Billie Eilish. So that makes sense in retrospect. So Bad Bunny winning album of the year. First off, congrats to him winning. But I think there was a lot of people that made certain comments that I heard in the Grammy crowd. People felt like, oh, politically, they felt like they were making they wanted to stick a middle finger to Trump by giving Bad Bunny this honor. First ever Spanish speaking album to ever win Album of the Year. Historic, for him to even be nominated again this way. Historic, because his other album was previously nominated. So he's been in talks. I remember people thought at one point in time that he was going to beat Beyonce for Album of the Year when she was up for Renaissance. And then Harry Styles won. And that kind of took us all for a loop because of all the albums Harry Styles won. That was just like, come on, y'all. But he presented to Bad Bunny. So that was a moment. That was a real big moment. Bad Bunny is charming. I will say, I would be remiss if I didn't say I'm slightly concerned for him. And not in a like, I hope that he is well, but I just feel like because of his outspokenness, not that he should be in fear, but it's just one of those things of like, Trump ain't playing. And I just hope that the Super Bowl and everybody really keeps his team and him protected. Everybody, not just him, but his team, because he's going to need that kind of support. I mean, the way in which he's outspoken, um, and I think in retrospect, like I said, I wanted Gaga to win because I felt like she's been snubbed so many times. I felt like Mayhem was a good return to form. But to be honest, I'm not that mad at Bad Bunny. Now, I know there were people who thought Kendrick, and they loved them some Kendrick, but I just feel like everybody can agree that I don't think his best albums are behind us. I just feel like we just, as a group, need to support him in, his direction. So, yeah. I also think Kendrick could have won. I mean, I would have been okay if Kendrick won Album of the Year, to be honest. But again, I think people are still waiting for his next music. And I think this GNX album was good, but it never really felt like Album of the Year material to me. I didn't feel like he was trying to put out an album that was like his core studio album, but I could be wrong. Um, I could be wrong. But I think he can do so many different things. I just feel like I think Kendrick's best album is ahead of him. He's got more in him. And yeah, but Gaga, I just feel like this was her moment. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever give it to her at this point. I mean, maybe I should not say that because I saw what happened to Beyonce. Beyonce eventually did get it. So it might just be a situation where, you know, she just needs to you know, mix up her music a little bit more and campaign a different way. I mean, the possibilities are endless, but I don't know. I think she'll eventually get there. And I just thought this would have been a good year. Because I just don't feel like music was that good this past year. I feel like overall, like Justin Bieber, what was that performance in his boxers and Hailey Bieber doing the little fingers? I'm just like, okay, I don't know what that was. Like Side Town or whatever he was, Side City or something. I'm just like, oh goodness, like this is, I don't know. Justin Bieber was just Justin Biebering. Um, but yeah, overall, um, I was happy with most of the winners. I was shocked by best pop vocal performance, Lola Young for her song Messy, which is a good song, but she beat out like some major heavy hitters. Um, and she was nominated for best new artist, and so to see her win for that was a good award show like moment, because she didn't get nominated in any major categories outside of that and best new artist. So for her to win for a song and she beat the likes of like, she beat Sabrina Carpenter, who had previously won for Espresso, I believe, or was that best pop album, probably for Short and Sweet, one of them. But this second album, I mean, she's happy she's nominated. I mean, she was trying to make Man Child a thing, but yeah, no, I don't think people have fatigue. I just think she just needs to chill a little bit, do some new things, and then come back with some new music. So maybe that's what's happening, or she's wrapping up a tour or something, but. So yeah, I mean, overall, I think the Grammys has an overlap problem where they keep giving some of the same artists the awards. And so I feel like for me, I just hope we can just mix it up. I just really hope that all these new artists dropping music this year, long-term artists, that there's some shakeup in some of these categories because it's like, is it going to always be a Billie Eilish, song of the year, record of the year, guaranteed lock in, or Bruno Mars? Or at this point, I don't want to assume Kendrick, but like, because Kendrick just started getting all these major awards, like in the major categories, but like he won record of the year for a second consecutive year in a row. Like, that's unheard of. Like, that doesn't often happen. I mean, Billie Eilish might have done it, but like, it's not often that an artist can literally get two singles to, do that. So yeah, but it was definitely a lot of male energy, a lot of men winning, which is, in these categories, which is often not the case. So, it was a lot of diversity, I suppose, quote unquote. Um, and those are my thoughts. But after party was chill. It was very chaotic and packed. Y'all saw the pictures and things. But as far as like me networking, it was just a very chill experience to just be able to just be in my element, do my thing, be relaxed, and just really focus. And so it was really good to just be a part of that, to just have that experience and not have to be caught up in all the, hoorah rah. So that was just good, just to just enjoy the awards and just the after and just reflect and be with some good people and just have some good food and good drink and relax. And yeah. Um, Overall, I would say when I think about the awardees, I do like the direction. I think that the Grammys definitely took a more vocally visible, loud public stance in ways that I didn't think they would. I was surprised. I was surprised by how many people were not trying to play it safe, not trying to appease certain folks. Like they really were standing on business. I think that was insightful and inspiring. So I will give props to that. But yeah, overall, I would say this was an unforgettable weekend. I look forward to coming back to Philly and recording this week's full-length episode. And also, being able to process, I may have some updates for y'all on, basically what is the aftermath of what happened at the Grammys on so many different fronts. I mean, Nicki Minaj's antics alone were just despicable. She's just, first of all, Trevor Noah's joke had the whole, like, I just don't think people understand, like, it's an arena. Like, it's a packed arena. Like, it's not just some celebrities on that floor. Like, it's thousands of people. They're like in that room cheering these people on. Like, it's intense. It's intense. Like, imagine having to perform before your peers and then their peers. Like, it's that kind of show. So, overall, I was excited. This week's Grammys was just iconic. If you have not seen my pictures, they're all on my Instagram, my threads, link in the bio. But you can see all of my pictures on my IG page. And if you go to the Reels, I did a part 1 and part 2 of my Grammy 2026 weekend. So if you want to see live footage and exclusive footage and things of that nature, it's all there. It's all there. You can definitely see it for yourself and check it out. But that is all I have for now. I'm off to my flight back to Philly. But for those who listen and share, as always, like my good girl Candace and others, LA was great. I'm coming back to Philly. Love you all. It's going to be so much fun. Back to colder weather because it was warm. The weather was, oh my God, the weather was perfect in LA. Like, it was perfect. It didn't even rain. There was like no rain. It was just perfect weather. Like, it was overall like a great time. So that concludes this special edition episode of Ernestly Speaking. And as always, be well and be best. Ernestly Speaking is recorded in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and can be found on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. To stay up to date with the latest on the show, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Mr. Ernest Owens. Use the hashtag Ernestly Speaking to tell me what you thought about this episode, and check out my website at ernestowens.com.